It's very busy at the 8th German African Economic Forum. Approximately 300 international guests from the world of business and politics are coming to Dortmund to find out about the African market. Africa is a young continent with a very young population which is growing very rapidly. It has immeasurable raw material reserves and is therefore an important continent for business. Africa is also the continent of the future. It's expected that Africa will become a global economic factor over the next few decades, and this naturally also makes it an extremely interesting market for business leaders in North Rhine-Westphalia. This event has a very high significance for me personally and also for the economy. It's really a great continent. During these very eventful times, companies are acting in a timely manner, and this is why it's even more important to build up mutual trust. The German African Economic Forum has always been a venue for this, and particularly now that we are still talking about inflation, bureaucracy, disrupted supply chains and new markets, we need to discuss these issues. What we're doing here today is a very special starting position between North Rhine-Westphalia and Africa. Bringing German and African business partners together is also what the mayor of Dortmund, Thomas Westphal, wants to do. He's proud of the fact that companies interested in doing business with Africa can obtain exclusive insights and the latest market information here in Dortmund. The State Secretary for the Economy, Paul Höller, also believes that the forum offers exciting opportunities, particularly during these turbulent times. Unfortunately, the economy of North Rhine-Westphalia is currently in a difficult position, and this is the reason why we, as the federal state government, are very interested in diversifying the areas of business of companies in North Rhine-Westphalia and placing them on a broader footing. The war in Ukraine, but also the disputes between the USA and China, demonstrate that it can be problematic if one relies too much on one partner. And this is why this event is so important for the federal state government. The Africa business expert, Professor Philipp von Karlowitz, will talk about how to conduct business successfully with African partners in his keynote speech. The subsequent Polit Talk will focus on the Global Gateway Initiative. The EU wants to invest a total of 300 billion euros in emerging markets and developing countries. Half of this is intended to flow to Africa. This is a continent on which the pump manufacturer Velo from Dortmund has already been active for 30 years. What I find especially important is to show how many people will live in towns in Africa in the future. Currently, there are only 500 million urban dwellers, but this will rise to 1.5 billion people by 2050. There is enormous business potential, merely from the megatrend of urbanization in Africa. The Velo Group is investing in all these areas. Our products are needed in towns, for example, in residential buildings or commercial property to supply water, dispose of wastewater, but also in industrial peripheral processes, everywhere where water is transported. Oliver Helmes advises speed so that Europe is not left behind other international competitors. The times have gone where Africa could be happy for European companies to be active on the continent. Africans can now choose their business partners, and we must therefore work hard to also support the European and German economy. It's extremely important to safeguard investment projects and then also be able to provide financial guarantees. German chambers of foreign trade also provide assistance with developing strategies for successful entry onto the market. Today, the Africa Forum is a fantastic opportunity for us as chambers of foreign trade to meet our partners, our customers and our friends here on site, in the official forums, but also outside of them. This always enables us to refresh old contacts and make new ones. New contacts also come about from the B2B matchmaking and speed dating between German and African companies. Firstly, I believe that we need to get to know each other better to approach each other. Germans know too little about the African people and also vice versa. Both sides have many prejudices, which first need to be dealt with. After that, we can also talk about business.
In Rwanda,
I was saying hello, talking about my family and theirs for 25 minutes on an IT training course in Rwanda. I had only 60 minutes in total and thought, time is money. When will the business side actually start? Then I learned that this is their culture. If someone doesn't make this small talk and there is no trust in you as a person, then they will also not do business with you. The experts on Africa in the best practice inputs also provide information about the customs and business partners in the relevant country. For example, a large number of megacities, in other words cities with over 10 million inhabitants, will be established during the next few years. This also offers companies such as Siemens enormous opportunities for investment and exports. It's always important for us to find contact partners, build up a network, and also help companies to understand the African continent, because Siemens has naturally already been active on this continent for a very long time. And of course, we want to have more companies in Africa which are also working in the interests of our business. These events help us to see who is interested and also what new technologies will be coming to the African continent. German technology, made in Germany, is known throughout the world, so why not dare to take the plunge and also supply the African continent? How we can achieve this will be the subject of the 4 discussion panels on the subjects of sales markets in Africa, procurement from Africa, qualified staff, as well as energy and green tech. A particularly exciting aspect, 6 startups from Africa are pitching their business ideas and demonstrating the inventiveness of African companies. Hundreds of company representatives and business experts are providing the impetus here for all key sectors and to make the German African Economic Forum, NRW, into an excellent networking platform for all the participants. It was great. Everyone was very friendly. We're actually a small company, and we were surprised how sincere everyone was towards us. I found the discussions very interesting, and they provided a lot of food for thought later at home. The 8th German African Economic Forum, NRW, has again shown the opportunities offered by the continent of Africa for German entrepreneurs. I think that the greatest potential for solving the problems of the current global challenges facing us as a world community can be found on the African continent. As a world, as a global community, we should look towards Africa to find solutions for the future.